All right, just wanted to let you guys know what I've been up to on Marketplace as usual. It's what I do, pretty much an addiction. Anyway, I'm looking for a family car to replace the Jeep. Um, my wife has had the Jeep since it was new, 2009, and once we had our first child, we pretty much instantly outgrew that car. Never really had the budget to get something bigger, you know, definitely not something new at the time. So we just kind of hung in there, and it's fine. It's a good car. It's just going on trips. It's tight. So anyway, my thought was look for one of these GM full size, like a Suburban or an Escalade, something about 10 to 15 years old. Should be in my budget, but man, it is rough out there. So I've looked at a few over the past couple of weeks. They're not all still up here. This is one of the first ones I looked at, and I passed on this one. This is probably the one I should have. Well, this one's got its issues too. I'm looking very close vicinity to where I live because every time, even 15, 20-minute drive I get to these things, it's always a major disappointment. Maybe I'm too picky. Anyway, this was an '08. Price was good, I guess. The market here where I live. So anyway, what does he say? Absolutely mint exterior and interior. Runs and drives perfect. Zero issues, zero leaks. Clean Carfax. All the options, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, get there. The guy's a very nice guy. Um, mint exterior and interior, I guess that's a subjective term. The car was in pretty nice shape overall, pretty straight. It didn't look like any weird bodywork or anything, but these are the things you can't see in the picture. The front, the hood here. First of all, where did this car come from? Well, Smithtown, that's Long Island, near me. Where did you get the car? Oh, I bought it a week ago. Where was it from? Oh, upstate New York. Okay, so right away that's a red flag. It's like, are you a dealer? Are you flipping? He said he bought it for his parents. They didn't like it, was too big. Okay, fine, we'll go with that. They salt the roads a lot upstate. So first thing I start looking for is rust, and sure enough, right on the hood, a lot of little cracks and checks in the paint, and some of them lifting, and you could see rust underneath. I think it was, I forget if it was this quarter panel. It might have been the other quarter panel. Um, I think it was here or the other side. I can't remember now. Right where the quarter meets the bumper, it's common they get rust bubbles here. Had that. Can't see in the picture, but right across here, huge gouge, like all across the fender, key mark, whatever it may be, touched up horribly, blobby, lumpy. Around the rest of the car, really not too bad. Minor nicks and scratches, I can deal with that. So already I'm looking at painting the hood, painting here, this fender, dealing with the rust. Interior was definitely clean. The seats are in nice shape. Missing a little trim piece here. Can't really tell in these pictures, but this trim piece along the console on this side was peeling up and it looked pretty bad. Again, minor stuff. He didn't let me drive it. He drove it around, seemed to drive around fine. So my major issues were really that fender, uh, the hood needing paint, and the rust bubbles, and also underneath the rear, underneath the spare tire area, very scaly, very rusty under here, which is common on these two. Anyway, I offered the guy 9. He actually came down to 9. And then I kind of just froze, and I was like, you know what? I don't feel like getting involved with body work, this and that. I'll just keep looking. So it turns out I probably should have went with this one, but because the others I've seen are worse. However, this being from upstate, you open the hood and the exhaust manifolds, the brackets, the power steering pump, really, really rusty, looking like something's getting ready to let go. So anyway, passed on that one. That's the next one I looked at. I looked at a 2010 Escalade. This one, guy's asking 14. Okay, what does he say? New 2020 rims and tires. No issues, no check engine lights, drives perfect. No rips. New style taillights he added. So anyway, I show up to this one, and right away you can see this quarter panel. Very strange looking. It's had some body work, some paint work, and it's not good. It looks like an amateur job at best. There's lots of sanding scratches. The paint is dull. It's wavy. Looks like these two doors were also repainted. I think I have some pictures on this one. Yep. So it looks good in pictures, but you could start to see a little cloudiness back here. There's a big scratch here. You could just see the cloudiness. I know I'm being picky, but it just would be nice to not have strange body work. A little bit, a tiny bit of rust bubbling starting there in the quarter also. You can see it more here if I zoom in. Oh man, where am I? You can see this. This is like Bondo marks. All of this right here. Let's see. This is all sanding scratches. All of these marks, which is under the paint. So this quarter would probably be bothering me and wanting to get that redone. However, the rest of the car was in nice shape. I mean, the interior was super clean. It was really just that quarter panel on that side, the paintwork. That was a bit of a turnoff. Also, the price was quite a bit higher, you know. I wanted to be around 10 grand. So anyway, I went back and forth with this guy. I said, he actually, I said, I'll let you know. And then he messaged me a few days later. He's like, oh, you still interested? And I told him straight up, I'm like, yeah, this bothers me right over here. And I would want to get it for less because I might want to have this redone. And he said, okay, what's your offer? So I said, oh, you know what? I could do 12. He wants 14 pretty much. So he's like, all right, I gotta let you know. Comes back the next day. He's like, the best I can do is 13. And I was like, I don't want to do it because I'm thinking this is going to be more than 1,000 to fix, maybe 2,000. Anyway, I say, no, I can't do it, you know. And then he was basically like, just come up a little bit and it's yours. So I said, all right, I'll let you know. Look at a couple of others. So on to the next one. This one's also not too far from me. It's up for sale for a while. All of these have been up for sale for a while. The only one that was up for a short time was this one, which when I passed on it, 2 days later, it was marked sold. Anyway, translation, truck is in perfect condition, very good. Interested, call me. Negotiable. All right. So I make a plan, go over to see this guy, pull up. Well, first of all, before I even go, I notice someone's done something to the wheels. They're black and they're obviously chipping. Does not look like a professional powder coating job or anything. Probably just some kind of spray on paint or whatever. But as soon as I start walking around the car, just tons of little dents, dings, scrapes. The rear bumper was all scraped up. The hood and this front fender, the whole hood had dings, but like hail all over it. Hail damage. This side of the fender did too. Interior is missing a piece back here. From what I remember, the rest of the... Oh, yeah. The seats look pretty good, except... Does he have it here? This seat, of course, you can't really see, but... Not the seat upholstery itself, but the plastic trims around the sides of the seat were all smashed up and taped up with duct tape. That was a bit of a turnoff. But then, you know, looking beyond the cosmetic issues, he said, "Oh, I'll take it for a ride around the block." So I did. Thing making strange noises. It sounds like you're driving a diesel. The engine was knocking. Something's not right with the engine. The car barely had any brakes. So perfect condition, questionable. Again, subjective to some people maybe. So then the next one I looked at was the Suburban. Just looked at this one this morning. This one's been up for a while too, but it's a 2014, a little bit newer, so that's appealing. Price seems decent. Miles are a little high. I was trying to stay under 150,000. 167,000 one owner miles, registered in my name, excellent condition, clean title, fully loaded. Everything works as it should. No issues, no rust, no check engine lights, clean Carfax. Looks, runs, and drives like brand new. Ready to be driven. Okay, so I go look at this one. Pull up. As soon as I get within 20 feet of the car, I could see. Here we go again with the paintwork. Now, I was complaining about one quarter panel on this Escalade. This Suburban, the whole entire truck looks like that quarter panel. Foggy, uneven, blotchy paint job, key marks, the driver's side. These are things you can't see in pictures. This whole driver's side is all keyed up, front to back, touched up. You can't tell here, but there's a huge dent right here, all caved in. There's a couple of other pretty good sized dents around the body too. Tires were shot. Needed new tires. Rust bubbles, typical. Interior, looks dirty in the pictures, but I can overlook that. Can't even tell in this picture, but this whole seam on the seat is completely opened up. You could stick your hand in there. It's torn up pretty bad. Didn't even bother driving this one. So again, what does he say? Looks, runs, and drives like new. I didn't drive it or ride in it, but engine sounded okay. Did not look like brand new. So here's the latest one. So this one doesn't really have much of a description. Runs and drives well. Clean truck. Actually had a decent body on this one. The paint, everything was pretty good except right here. Looked like there was a big key mark that, again, somebody sprayed with some spray cans and it was kind of rough and dull. The rest was pretty clean. I don't really remember any dents or major scratches or problems with the paint, except for the front bumper. Let's go through the Facebook pictures first. This one was at a lot, but the guy was also selling it privately. Tear in the seat here. Not all the way through, but the outer layer of the leather was missing. So yeah, let's look at the front. Well, first, here was the major flaw with this one. Like I said, the body was in pretty nice shape, except for the front bumper, which we'll get to. But this is kind of a close-up. I didn't get a zoomed-out picture, but this is what the whole engine looks like. Somebody clearly painted over a bunch of dirt and grime with some bright silver paint. And I asked the guy about it. I said, was the engine changing? See, like a loose bolt right here. Not the most professional job. Yes, the engine was changed. He doesn't know where it came from, how many miles. He assured me it was a 6.2, which I can't make out the number on the head here to give a clue, but hard to check unless you really get under there. I think it's on the back of the block somewhere. It'll say 6.2. The bumper was all scraped up. It obviously had hit something and it was all scraped up and the paint was cracked. So the front bumper needed to be resprayed. It was just minor stuff, like the rear passenger door lock didn't work, the rear liftgate motor was shot. And then one thing that concerned me a little bit more was I was getting these weird noises from the dash, which I think is the Beach VAC actuators, which if you have to replace those, it's a big job. The whole dash has to come out. So I keep holding out for something better, and it's just not happening. I'm even willing to come up in price. Like, I'm looking around this price range, but I'm willing to come up for the right car. There's nothing in between. You go from this price range, like around 10, 12, and then it jumps up into the 20s for anything newer or better. Still with a lot of miles. I'm just trying to find something decent, but apparently right now very hard to do. So I'll keep looking, and I will let you guys know if I find something. You'll hear about it here on the channel. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time. So what would you do? Let me know in the comments what you think. Am I wasting my time? Am I being ridiculous? Or whatever other thoughts you might have. Thanks for watching this video. Like, share, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And see you guys next time.